Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Rundown. I will be your host today, Craig DeLuz, coming at you from the West Coast, the left coast, behind the Iron Curtain, otherwise known as the Sierras. And today is Throat Punch Thursday.
Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Who's ready?
It's Throw Punch Thursday, bitch.
That's right, folks. This is the day where we try to hit the truth, and we hit the truth hard. And for some people who can't handle the truth, well, let's just say it's a bit of a throat punch. They can't handle it, and that's okay. Some people, just, the truth is just too much for them, and I get it. But you know what? We're going to have a good time nonetheless. Unfortunately, Mike is not going to be able to be here with us today. He is off working, getting his work thing on, but you are here and I am here. So we're going to have a really, really good time. And we're going to start off, as we usually do, with a quick shout out to our sponsors. We're going to start with Hitman Industries. Hitman Industries makes rifle and pistol caliber barrels. They're available for you to purchase at any length. So if you've purchased an AR recently, chances are you already have one of their barrels, so why not get another one? So whether you're looking to do a brand new build or to rebarrel your old rifle, go there today and get, once again, the best that you can find in barrels at hitmanindustries.net. And then we've got the California Republican Assembly working to help elect conservatives at all level of government, from school board all the way to President of the United States. In fact, right now, we're working very, very hard to help, I don't want to say defend democracy, because that's what the liberals say all the time, but really it's literally is that, because in California right now, they're working to change, or basically to pass to pass an initiative that would redraw districts in an attempt to give Democrats 5 extra seats in the House of Representatives, which will affect everyone across the country. If you want to be a part of that fight against that, then go to cragop.org. Check them out today. If you want to be a part of California or the nation's future today, you got to join CRA. And then we've got the best in concealed carry tactical holsters available on the market. That's right. You will find them at hogholsters.com. That's HAWG holsters.com, because they like to help America wear guns. Now, if you want to buy one of their holsters and you want to get it at a discount, make sure you use the discount code The Rundown. All caps, no spaces, one word, just like it is right up there, right there. And you're going to get it on discount on us. And then finally, times are changing. The weather is changing. All the fun things are changing. So guess what? It's time to switch up your tactical gear. That's right. Go to uscombatgear.com. They have a huge selection. They specialize in group sales. So get your group together, get your agency together, get your department together, and get on over to hogholsters.com, where they have the best customer service available on the market. This is the place where you can find all things tactical except the gun. That's right. That would be uscombatgear.com. Also want to remind you, if you are watching this program live, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, well, then you're watching it live. That means we're also taking your comments. I am following you here on the Chitty Chat. If I find what you say to be interesting, I will share it with our audience. If I don't, I won't. I don't care if you disagree with me. In fact, I encourage you to disagree with me, because that opens the door for us to, well, be able to mock you.
Oh, wow, is that a mockingbird?
Man, is that a mockingbird? Is that a mockingbird?
That's right. And by the way, we don't mock you just because, we're trying to be, we don't mock you because we try to be mean. I mock you because I'm trying to be funny. And sometimes I'm funny, sometimes not, but I always crack myself up. So if no one else finds it funny but me, then it was very well worth it. All right, let's get into today's program, shall we? All right. I know y'all want to talk about the NBA scandal, and that, by the way, you see that's there on the list. That's one of the things we're going to talk about today. But once again, I need to talk about something that is of importance. Whether or not folks in the NBA are gambling, yeah, that's an issue, and there shouldn't be gambling in sports. But really, here we have another 3 deaths. Another accident, another crime that has been committed here in the United States by an individual who, quite frankly, had no business being here. That's right. He had absolutely no business being here in the United States of America. This is a guy who was here as an illegal immigrant, right? This is a guy who is not not only was he not supposed to be here in the country, he definitely wasn't supposed to be here driving commercial trucks. All right. But this was an individual who was once again driving commercial trucks here in the United States illegally. And well, let's just take a look at the accident that, quite frankly, I think there is absolutely no doubt was in fact his fault. Here we go. Let me see. I believe this is the right one right here. Here we go.
We begin with breaking news at 11. This exclusive video just in. It's dash cam video shared with Eyewitness News, and it's from the red semi-truck that plowed into a number of vehicles on the westbound 10 freeway in Ontario just after 1 p.m. today. It is now the subject of several law enforcement investigations. This fiery collision killing 3 people and involving a total of 8 vehicles.
All right, so why is it under investigation? Well, it turns out, dude in the country was an illegal immigrant. And we believe, let me read the rest of the story here. It says here, a 21-year-old illegal immigrant from India is allegedly to blame for a horror pileup on a California freeway that left 3 people dead and several others injured earlier this week. Federal immigration officials said. Jashpreet Singh was allegedly under the influence of drugs when he crashed his semi-truck into slow-moving traffic on the 10 freeway in San Bernardino County on Tuesday, according to cops. The wreck, which was caught on dash cam, killed 3 people and left at least 4 others injured. And you see there's the kind of the image, and I already played the video for you. Singh was quickly arrested and on charges of vehicular manslaughter while intoxicated and driving under the influence. Immigration and Customs Enforcement officials have since lodged an arrest detainer, which will be ignored, a formal request for local cops to notify feds before he is freed, officials said. Quote, it's a terrible tragedy. 3 innocent people lost their lives due to reckless open border policies that have allowed an illegal alien to be released into the U.S. and drive an 18-wheeler on America's highway, Homeland Security Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin said. Now, you may recall, this is not the first time that this has happened. In fact, it happened in Florida just a few months ago.
Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says he'll withhold $40 million from California. He says the state is failing to enforce the English language requirements for truckers. Governor Gavin Newsom's office pushed back, saying the state's commercial truck drivers have a lower crash rate than the national average. Duffy launched his investigation back in August after an illegal immigrant killed 3 people while making an illegal U-turn on a Florida highway. His commercial license was issued in California. Investigators say the trucker failed an English proficiency exam after the crash.
To drive an 18-wheeler, a semi, a school bus, you have to speak English and you have to understand English. And you should be tested for this when you take your CDL exam. We sent out notices to all the states that they have to start to comply. All the states have complied, but one, that would be California. Gavin Newsom cares more about illegal migrants than he does about the safety of his citizens.
The driver in that fatal crash was charged with 3 counts of vehicular homicide and immigration violations. He is being held without bond.
Now, there's another video that's out there, and this is a video where this is a video and it's gone viral now. It's where a dude was like driving a truck, and he was driving. Now, mind you, he's driving the wrong way down the street on the wrong side of entering the wrong side of the freeway. And this was once again another example of an illegal immigrant driver.
What are you doing?
I'm going that way. Keep us right here. But it's not working. Then I'm done. I'll go the other side.
Let me ask you a question, man.
Okay.
You are going the wrong way down the freeway. You are committing a felony right now.
Okay. What I'm doing, sir?
Well, one, why the fuck going the wrong way down the freeway?
That's all right. I'm doing it back. Sorry, sir.
Well, no, I'm just asking because
I'm so sorry, but when is the phone? I go that side. When that's now.
yeah, turn around when you have a clear spot.
Okay.
Don't even move your truck. Turn your hazard lights on for one. Turn your hazard lights on now.
So this wasn't even the guy who was caught by the cops. This was a guy who literally another truck driver pulls up next to him. Turns out, now once again, it says in the post that he was illegal, but what you can clearly see from this is, or hear from this is, the dude barely spoke English. He was so bad at speaking English that he couldn't even read the traffic signs to know that he was heading the wrong way on the freeway. This is the sort of stuff that happens. And once again, I'm willing to bet you dollars to donuts, he's probably got a California license. Right? Now, these are people, once again, who are in the country who are not here legally. These are people who really shouldn't have driver's licenses, but in California, we give anyone a driver's license. And then on top of that, now then they're flipping those California driver's licenses into a commercial driver's license. So when you saw the title of the show and you thought it was CDL, you thought it was California driver's license. No, those are commercial driver's licenses. And here's the problem, folks. It then is allowing them to be able to drive anywhere in the country. They're now on the road, and that's what you saw in the first story. So, I mean, the second story. The second story was what happened in Florida. It was the first time that it was reported that it had happened. There had been other accidents that have occurred with illegal immigrants driving. But see, these are the sorts of things. I mean, once again, from what I understand, and I could be wrong, I think this guy, this Josh Preet Singh, I'm pretty sure he got let out on bond. I'm pretty sure that he is already bonded out and is now walking the streets of California. How you like them apples? Walking the streets of California after killing 3 people. He's out on vehicular manslaughter. Now, once again, you have guys like Gavin Newsom arguing, well, these commercial truck drivers have a much lower accident rate. BS. I want to see the numbers. I want to track all of the people who have licenses, who have commercial driver's licenses, who are here in this country illegally. And I want to see the rate that they have of accidents. And I want to see that. And then I want you to compare that to all the commercial driver's licenses issued in the state of California to legal residents. And I want you to prove to me. I want to see those numbers. I'm not believing you, Mr. Gavin Newsom. I'm sorry, but I'm not. But here's what I also know. If we were enforcing our immigration laws, these 3 people, this mother and her 2 children, would still be alive. There's no doubting that. 100% of that family would be alive if we enforced our immigration laws. But we in California, we're smarter than the rest of the world. We're smarter than everybody else. We know more than everyone else. So therefore, we're going to do what we want to do. That's how we roll here in California. Right? That's how you roll in sanctuary cities or sanctuary states. We do what we're going to do. And now we know, well, this is in fact what happens is people die. When you say that it doesn't really matter and these are just well-meaning people, just understand this. I want you to go to the father of these 2 children. I want you to go to, once again, I don't know if she was married, but to whoever, her mother, her father, those who loved and cared about her, the mother of these kids. And I want you to go to them and say, well, I'm sure he was well-meaning. The guy who plowed into your family, didn't even hit the brakes, plowed into your family while on drugs, driving a commercial truck, licensed by the state of California. No, once again, maybe he wasn't licensed. Maybe he was just driving a commercial truck and wasn't really licensed. I doubt it. I rather doubt it. But at the very least, he felt comfortable being here in California because he knew we were a sanctuary state. And by the way, don't be surprised if this guy just disappears. If he is out on bond, in fact, you know what? Let me do something here real quick. I am going to look up his name. I'm going to pull up the story. I'm going to see, was he released on bond? It says here he was arrested on suspicion of vehicular manslaughter. I don't know how much more suspicion. I don't know how much more you have to suspect it. Let's see here. Released on bond. Let's see here. Dun, dun, dun. 4 hours ago. All right, this is from the LA Times. Of course, the LA Times is going to try and charge us to read it. Let's click on news. How about that? Arrested, fatal California crash that killed 3 people, was released into the United States by the Biden administration after illegally crossing into the country. Okay. It does not say whether or not. Okay, it does not say whether or not he has been released from jail or not. So, hopefully they're holding on to this guy. Hopefully they haven't released him. And if they do release him, hopefully they are notifying ICE, I doubt they are, that he has been released, because that's what they're supposed to do, except not in the state of California because it's a sanctuary state. But it is what it is. Right? That's where we're at. That's where we're at these days. Just so you know, flouting the law, ignoring the law that makes common sense. There's a reason why I say, look, language, borders, and culture. That's what makes a country. Language, borders, and culture. When people don't speak the same language, then you get people who don't really understand the laws. Why don't they understand the laws? Because they don't know how to read the rule book. They don't even understand the basic concepts of the signs. Right? And here you have a guy who somehow believed that it was okay for him to be on drugs while he was driving. And now people are dead. Property is destroyed. 4 other people are in the hospital. Ignoring the rules, ignoring the law has consequences. And the reason why some of these policymakers haven't bothered to enforce the laws is because they haven't had to deal with the consequences of those laws. And talking about consequences, now, I don't know what exactly would make someone who is a teacher, who teaches in a classroom, would make them do or say something this, I got no other way to put it except this stupid.
Forget where you're standing. This is South Central Los Angeles. They are not the only ones with guns in this city. They're not the only ones, and don't forget that. And I don't say that because we're calling for violence. I'm saying that because the people have every right to defend themselves against masked, unidentified gunmen with AR-15s and other military rifles. The people have every right to defend themselves.
Now, maybe it's just me, but that sounds like a call for violence against law enforcement officers. That sounds exactly what he's talking about. Now, it says here, LA teacher says ICE isn't the only ones with guns after this is after a federal agent has been shot there in Los Angeles. Of course, the federal agent, well, I won't get into it. Anyway, it says here, since ICE began rounding up illegal immigrants and deporting them, there have been a handful on the left who have started trying to be clever by asking where we are. After all, in their minds, this is tyranny. And most of us tend to say that we have guns in the event of tyranny. Never mind that nothing about this is tyrannical, that this is a reaction to a real problem that isn't hurting American citizens. But we've also heard a number of anti-ICE people start advocating for armed resistance. Don Lemon, for example. One Los Angeles teacher, though, is in the spotlight because he's not just advocating for that, but did just that a short time after a federal agent was shot. And I just played the video for you. It says here, DHS Secretary Tricia McLaughlin said the agency will be referring Gotchez's remarks to the Justice Department. Quote, these comments by a school teacher telling agitators to, quote, not forget ICE are not the only ones with guns in the city, referring to law enforcement as terrorists and mass kidnappers are unhinged, she said. In a statement to Fox News Digital, calling for violence against law enforcement is un-American and beneath the conduct of someone teaching the next generation of Americans. This looks criminal, and we will be referring it to DOJ. And so, in other words, this dude is, there's a very, very good chance this dude is at the minimum, I believe, going to lose his job. And he should. I don't understand this. I don't understand what makes you think that you can just go and just, once again, call for the call for an attack on law enforcement. What makes you think you can do that and that's okay? That you can just get away with that and everyone's just going to be hunky dory with it? I don't see where that makes sense. And here's the thing: the lack of judgment is definitely not the sort of judgment that we want someone who should be teaching our kids. It isn't. What you should be teaching them, look, if you have an issue, if you have a challenge, if you want people, law enforcement, to be identified, I understand. I get that. But to say that, well, we're not the only one, they're not the only ones with guns. And he's like, well, but I'm not calling for it, but I know some people who got guns. I mean, that's pretty much what he said, right? He said, I know people, there are people out here who got guns, and ain't nothing wrong with them defending themselves, basically, with them shooting masked agents. Now, why are the agents masked? Well, because activists like him are taking videos of, are photographing, are doxing these agents and their families. They're putting their information online and they are being threatened, they are being harassed. So in many cases now they're wearing masks in order to protect them, in order to protect, really not just to protect themselves, but to protect their families. Now, what can you have against that? Tell you what, you make it such that if someone does something like that, make it punishable by no less than 10 years in prison. If you dox somebody, if you put a federal agent or their family's information online, you should do no less than 10 years in federal prison. Then I'd say, okay, take off the mask. And you publicize it. Then I'd say, okay, they don't need the masks. But if you do it, no, let's make it 15 years. How about that? You want to do that? Want to go there? Because ultimately they're wearing the masks to protect themselves. And by the way, they do have it says what they are. It says immigration, or not immigration. It says ICE, or it says immigration. I wish they would have like maybe just a little bit more. Maybe their badges out, or just something where something that's not as easy to go to. Go online and get a patch for it in order to. Because once again, just because someone has a patch on their vest, first of all, you can go and buy the vests. And you can go and get a thing that says ICE on it, or a hat that says ICE on it. So I don't know. Now the other thing is, if you do that, well, now you're impersonating a federal officer, and that ought to be punishable by 20 years in prison. Although I do know that impersonating a federal officer is actually already illegal. I just don't know what the penalty is. In any case, I get why the agents are doing it. I get why they're wearing the masks, and I think threatening to shoot them does not solve the problem. And by the way, if you're hanging out in places where people are just randomly if you're someone who people are randomly kidnapping you, number one, either you're hanging out with some shady people, or you really need to elect some folks who are going to crack down on crime wherever you are at. Because that ain't something that should be happening. Yeah, just my 2 cents. All right. And by the way, as long as there's lack of support for law enforcement, then you're going to continue to see stuff like this happening. So, for example, you have now a Chicago judge who has basically ruled that, yeah, if they do anything like remotely, like that we believe to be unlawful, meaning even if it's fully within their job, even if it's wholly, everything they do is right. If they do anything that we locally believe to be, or that people locally believe to be unlawful, yeah, you can be arrested. This being reported by the folks over there at Newsweek. ICE agents can be arrested over unlawful actions, Chicago judge rules. It says here, a federal court in Chicago has ordered sweeping new limits on U.S. immigration and customs enforcement operations in the Midwest, ruling that agents repeatedly violated federal law and a binding consent decree by arresting people without warrants. The decision, issued October 7th by U.S. District Judge Jeffrey Cummings, extends court oversight of the agency until February 2nd, 2026, and warns that officers who disregard the order could face contempt or criminal referral. Newsweek reached out to ICE, the offices of Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson, and the Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker via email. Let's see, what did they have to say with it? It says, nope. Here we go. It says key obligations this is under a 2022 settlement. ICE must issue and distribute nationwide policy on warrantless arrests and vehicle stops, which they've done. For any non-citizen arrest made without administrative warrant, ICE must document its I-213 record, the fact that no warrant, location type, residence, business, vehicle, yada, 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 employment or residence status at the business home, community ties such as family home, if known, and specified factual basis that the person was, quote, likely to escape before the warrant was obtained. Okay, so this is all various different stuff. Anyway, the whole point here being is he's trying to say that, yeah, y'all can be arrested if you don't do it the way we want you to do it. And my only question is this. Who do you think are going to arrest the ICE agents? Especially when they're guarded by the National Guard. So you're going to have the National Guard there. You're going to have ICE agents, and you're going to have, what do you got, local PD do it? You're going to have local sheriffs go and arrest the ICE officers? Go ahead. I'm waiting. Go ahead and let me know. Who are you going to have arrest them? Because I know that the superintendent, I think that's what they call him, the superintendent there in Chicago, already made it clear. They're there to aid federal agents when they're in trouble. They're not going to not help them. And I also got the impression that they're not going to arrest federal agents either. So who are you going to have arrest them? Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. Speaking of arrests, I know you've heard all about this one. We always knew, and as you went to, and as a Sacramento Kings fan, dating all the way back to the time when the Kings were in the finals against the Lakers, or the semifinals against the Lakers, and they got cheated. I knew that the NBA was rigged. I knew even from that point on, there was not a doubt in my mind. But now we know. Well, it goes a little bit even beyond that, and now the feds and NYPD have exposed it.
In some instances, players altered their performance or took themselves out of games to make sure that those bets paid out. One example occurred on March 23rd, 2023 in Charlotte. Terry Rozier, an NBA player now with the Miami Heat, but at the time playing for the Hornets, allegedly let others close to him know that he planned to leave the game early with a supposed injury. Using that information, members of the group placed more than $200,000 in wagers on his under statistics. Rozier exited the game after just 9 minutes, and those bets paid out, generating tens of thousands of dollars in profit. The proceeds were later delivered to his home, where the group counted their cash. As the NBA season tips off, his career is already benched, not for injury, but for integrity.
So this was part of a big, huge scam, whatever you want to call it, that they've been working on. And the feds basically, I mean, these games involving Lakers, Raptors, Hornets, Trailblazers, also including a gambling scheme. Let me read a little bit of this to you. It says members of an illegal gambling ring shared non-public information regarding Lakers, Hornets, Trailblazers, and Raptors, according to the Department of Justice. The teams themselves had no knowledge of or involvement in the gambling scheme, but the information about them was allegedly spread illegally to those wagering on those games. Those implicated in sharing of illegal gambling information are Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier and 49-year-old former NBA player Damon Jones. Both are among the 31 individuals arrested in connection with the, quote, sports rigging scheme or with illegal poker rings allegedly run by the mob. The scheme investigated by the FBI probe ran from January 2022 to March 2024, during the time Rozier and Jones allegedly shared information on injuries and which players would be inactive for games. Jones, who is also a longtime friend of Lakers star LeBron James, allegedly told members of the ring on February 9th, 2023, that James was hurt and would not be available for the Lakers game against the Bucks. Quote, get a big bet on Milwaukee tonight before the information is out, Jones wrote, according to the indictment. Now, the other thing is the other scam that they're dealing with here, the other thing they're reporting on, has to do with poker, and it's a poker game. It's a private underground poker game, and what they would do is they would use NBA players as what did they call them? Face cards. They called them face cards, and then what they would do is they would bring people in to gamble, and they called them fish. And what they would do is they would use all sorts of tools to cheat them out of their money. So what they would do is they would bring them in, and they would have things like a card reader that could read cards. They would have machines that could, X-ray machines that could see cards that were laying face down and see what the other face side of the card was. They had contact lenses or glasses that could see marked cards. And basically, in essence, they raked in about $7 million of total money that they stole from individuals. And once again, the whole idea was, hey, come to this underground poker game and play poker with Chauncey Billups. He's one of the guys who was implicated in this. All I can say is, where you allow gambling or where there is gambling, there will be cheating. I hate to say it, but there are some people who they don't want a game of chance. They're in it to make money. They're not interested in a game of chance, and you're gonna have cheating. And in this particular case, my attitude is you get caught cheating, well, you pay the price. Pay the big price. I don't know what exactly is going to happen with all of this, but it was a pretty big announcement. And once again, it's hitting some names. I mean, you guys know Rozier. If you watch basketball, you know Chauncey Billups. And you know that the information that they were sharing was about other big name players like LeBron. And I guarantee you, this is just one ring with one set of mob families and one group of folks. This is not the only gambling that's taking place. And by the way, this is not the only cheating that is taking place in professional sports. These are just the ones who got caught. So just know that to be the case. All right, folks, so that now brings us to our parting shots. Parting shots are brought to you by Hog Holsters. Just go to hogholsters.com, use the discount code The Rundown, all caps, no spaces, one word, and get your Hog Holster today. Okay, I'm trying to make sure I get the right videos here for you. Okay. All right. Well, this first one, if you like Dr. Dre, you'll love this one because Dr. Dre endorses Trump. Or Trump endorses Dr. Dre, but Dr. Dre does not necessarily endorse Trump.
The great Dr. Dre. He's a real doctor. He's a really good doctor. I have some good doctors. I never met a doctor that made beats. Never made it before. I don't know if he went to medical school, but I'm going to tell you right now, this guy has the best music. I love NWA.
Bro, I'm not doing this. No.
Negroes with attitudes.
We're not doing this.
He's a Negro with a great attitude. I love this guy. He's one of my favorite black producers. You're so great. You're so amazing. I swear to God, all your music. The G thing is my favorite. You got to do a T thing, a Trump thing. You know?
I did not approve this message.
I love this guy, Dr. Dre.
Yeah, that right there was hilarious. By the way, for those of you who are just listening to the program, that was a brother. That was a black man that was doing the Trump impression, and I think he was doing a rather good job at it. Maybe it's just me, but I thought he was doing a good job. All right, this next one is kind of interesting because you hear a lot about, as we're talking about illegal immigration, you hear a lot of people talk about, well, if it's not about race, then how come they're not deporting any white people? Well, turns out that ain't the case.
If it isn't about racism, how come ICE isn't deporting white immigrants? I guess shoving a phone in your daughter's face was easier than you actually looking up this story. White man in Chicago detained by ICE. His name is actually Radul Boljevic, and he's from Montenegro. He came here in 2015 on a tourist visa and then overstayed his welcome, which is a crime. He then graduated the police academy in Chicago in 2025, so he was working in the United States undocumented, which is also a crime. Would you like to know how he got caught? He was about to be sworn in as a full Hanover police officer in Chicago. Any guesses as to why Chicago PD may not have wanted ICE to be there? Of course, they're claiming they didn't know. Here's a fun fact for you. Did you know that ICE has actually deported about 48,000 white-appearing people in 2025 alone? But those are not the people that are making the headlines, because that wouldn't fit y'all's narrative that Trump is only deporting the brown people. For your daughter's sake, do better, because all you're doing is handcuffing her, telling her that she can't do anything because everybody looks at her as just a skin color. This was fun. Have a day.
Yeah, I thought that was very well put together. She kind of made her point. Yeah, clearly they are deporting people of all skin tones, hues, shall we say. All right, this last one here, you'll love this one. This is Adam Carolla, pretty much speaking to the future in terms of how exactly are we going to explain why we hate Elon Musk.
Got behind a Tesla on the 15 and it was like, don't blame me, I bought this car. And I was like, oh, remember 10 minutes ago they were burning Tesla dealerships and spiking their tires and keying Teslas and stuff. And I'm like, are we just, but here's what I want to say to people. So we're done with Elon. But by the way, like, how do I explain this to future generations? Like, what happened? There's this guy who's a genius from South Africa. And he came here and he made an electric car. Oh, they hate electric. No, they love electric cars. Oh, okay. And then what? Well, he was a genius, and he built electric cars, and they love the guy. But then what happened? Well, he bought Twitter. Yeah. For what? For free speech. Oh, okay. So they love the guy more. No. Now they're angry. Why are they angry? He just opened up the thing. Well, they didn't want to admit that they used Twitter to do whatever the they wanted, and they hated free speech. They just wanted their speech, but he opened up. So anyway, then he started a department called Doge, where he was going to save taxpayers a whole bunch of money. Oh, they must have loved that. No, that made them more angry. Really mad. What do you mean? They started burning Teslas. Wait a minute, I thought they loved the environment. Yet they do. Okay, but then what? So what happened? Oh, nothing.
Nothing. They were forgiven.
But how long were they burning the? Oh, like 15 minutes. Yeah. Then they were done.
Yeah. He figured out that we were paying for circumcisions in like Senegal.
Right. Or circumcision education in Senegal or something. Yeah. And so he wanted to save more money, and they wanted to burn the Teslas down. Okay, but so are they still mad at Teslas? No, that was some weeks ago.
Yeah, there's going to be a time in history where that's exactly how they're going to explain the hatred of Elon Musk and everything that's gone down. Is that just odd or what? Yeah, that is the way in which it's going to be portrayed. All right, folks. Well, that brings us to the end of our program. But before we go, we're going to give one more quick shout out to our sponsors. We're going to have Hitman Industries rifle and pistol caliber barrels available for you to purchase at any length. We've got the by the way, at hitmanindustries.net. We've got the California Republican Assembly working to help elect conservatives at all levels of government, from school board all the way to President of the United States. If you want to be a part of California's future today, you got to join CRA. Just go to cragop.org. And then you've got the best in concealed carry tactical holsters available on the market at hogholsters.com. That's HAWG holsters.com, helping Americans wear guns. And then finally, you've got the place where you can find all things tactical except the gun. And that would be at uscombatgear.com. All right, folks, this is episode number 998. That means tomorrow's 999. Well, here's going to be the deal, because I don't know what Mike's schedule is going to be like tomorrow and Monday. So here's the deal. The next two shows are going to be me and Mike. All right? If 999 and 1,000 are going to be me and Mike. If it's not going to be me and Mike, then I've got interviews from the Gun Rights Policy Conference, and I'll run one of those each time. But until both of us can be here for those two episodes, which should be tomorrow for $9.99, Till then, we're gonna party like it's 19, like 9, we're gonna party like it's 9.99, like it's episode 9.99 tomorrow. So anyway, so I hope to see you tomorrow, but I make no guarantees because I got to work it out with my boy, got to work it out with my partner. In any case, y'all have fun, y'all take care, and we will see you hopefully mañana.